crap, yeah, there's a bunch of them coming in. I got one.
Oh gosh, they were right around that corner.
Yeah. The A1 guy got mad at
Invincible!
They're alright.
We have taken objective Alpha.
Outside.
What's up, you guys? Mez here, and this is episode 2 of the Weapon Mastery series. Yes, this episode we're going to be going over the Mtar-21 in Battlefield 4. And the Weapon Mastery series is a series where we're going to go over guns that I have over 500 kills in. We're going to go over that gun inside and out. What type of attachments best suit the weapon, how to use it in-game, history, how the gun operates, and how to operate in-game for the best advantage you can have with the weapon. So some info and history of the gun. The Micro-Tavor, or the Mtar-21, also designated the X95, and also sometimes called the Tavor2, is a standalone, extremely compact weapon specifically designed for Special Forces units, as well as military personnel who are normally not issued long assault rifles. There is some debate as to when development for the Mtar-21 project actually began. Some people say 1995, others say 91. But the 21 at the end of its name stands for 21st Century Weapon, so they designed the weapon with the future in mind. And the Mtar-21 was officially adopted by the IDF in 2003. The duty to develop and produce this weapon was laid upon the Israeli Military Industries, which is now Israeli Weapon Industries, and they were to create a rifle suited for the Israeli Defense Forces on modern battlefields. Most of Israel's armed forces were using the aging M16A1, while some used the Kar-15 and IMI Galil assault rifles at the time this project began. Most combat situations were occurring in urban spaces, requiring soldiers to fight in close quarters. And with a mostly mechanized army, weapons also had to be transported inside vehicles and helicopters. Later editions of the M4A1 carbines were still judged as too long for comfortable use by the IDF. So the goal was to make a weapon compact while keeping a long enough barrel to maintain bullet ballistics, and so a bullpup design was chosen. In general, the Mtar-21 represents the mainstream of the present assault rifle developments. It shares all the modern features already tied to and proved successful by previous designs, like the bullpup layout, polymer housing, optical sights as a prime sighting equipment, modular design with several different configurations from your very short 9mm submachine gun up to a standard assault rifle and a para-sniper accurized rifle with heavy barrel and match ammo. So far it hasn't really seen much documented real action, although I'm sure Special Forces use this weapon, but it's hard to judge if it is really a success. The Mtar-21 is a gas-operated, selective fire, magazine-fed assault rifle of bullpup configuration. It's available in several configurations which differ in the barrel lengths and accessories. The basic configurations, the Mtar-21 assault rifle has with an 18.1 inch barrel. Next are the compact assault rifle called the Mtar-21 with a barrel 15 inches long, and the micro version with a barrel of only 13 inches long, and that's called the Mtar-21, and that's the gun we are reviewing. This Mtar version also features a redesigned front part of the housing, with the charging handle placed further back on receiver for a more comfortable hold of the short weapon. The Micro-Tavor also can be converted to a 9mm pistol ammunition with installation of a caliber conversion kit, which includes a new barrel, bolt group, and a magazine adapter, and can be loaded with 20, 25, and 32 round magazines as well. A suppressor can also be added to the weapon as part of the 9mm conversion kit. An integrated grenade launcher is also currently being developed for the Micro-Tavor. It would be interesting to see if we can ever put an underslung rail on the Mtar-21 in-game to mount an M320 or a modified grenade launcher to it in the future. The Tar-21 utilizes a now common long piston stroke, rotating bolt action with the gas piston rigidly attached to the bolt carrier. The gas cylinder is located above the barrel and is completely enclosed by the gun housing. The rotating bolt is similar to one found on the M16 rifle and has 7 lugs. The ejection ports are made on both sides of the weapon, and the right or the left side ejection can be selected by installing the bolt with the ejector mounted on the right or on the left. This change does require the gun to be partially disassembled. The bolt carrier rides on the single guide rod with the return spring unit located above it. Behind and inside the hollow gas piston rod, charging handle is located at the front left side of the gun and does not reciprocate when the gun is fired. The charging handle slots are cut on both sides of the gun housing, so it can be installed on either side of the weapon as required. The trigger unit is more or less conventional, with the ambidextrous fire mode selector safety switch located above the pistol grip. The Mtar-21 has no separate receiver. Instead, all parts are mounted within the high impact resistant plastic housing, reinforced with steel inserts where appropriate. The access to all the internal parts is controlled by the hinged butt plate, which can be swung down for internal inspection and disassembly. Tavor rifles are fitted with the standard Picatinny type accessory rail on the top of the gun. Early guns had Israel-made ITL Mars as the standard sight, which is a complicated and expensive reflex type sight with the built-in laser pointer. I for one would love to see this Israeli custom sight in game. For the nighttime operations, the MTAR could be complemented with the ITL Mini CS compact night vision device. The MTAR utilizes the Stagnag compliant M16 type magazines with a standard capacity of 30 rounds. The Tar-21 in its basic configuration can be fitted with a 40mm M203 underbarrel grenade launcher, and as I said, they are currently working on an integrated grenade launcher system for the MTAR. So let's take this carbine out in the gun range and test it out. One interesting fact about the gun in game is the gun version is actually called the Zittara, which is an Indian weapon, locally produced version of the MTAR. And it's modified to use the local 556 by 30mm Minsavs cartridge manufactured by the Ordnance Factories Board, and that is the round fired in game. The round is somewhat a derivative of the experimental Colt Mars. It uses a bottleneck case, 30mm long, loaded with a light-pointed bullet with a steel penetrator core. The bullet weighs 40 grams, and muzzle velocity from an MTAR is listed as 650 meters per second in real life, which in-game it is found on Simthic to travel at 570 meters per second. Yeah, a bit off there, dice. The cartridge also offers an effective range of about 200 to 300 meters in real life, with effective penetration against body armor. But in-game, the maximum distance is set to a shattering 855 meters. And if I ever hit someone at that range in Battlefield 4 with an MTAR, it would be purely luck. I would count the max range, in my experience, around 200 meters or less. In Battlefield 4, this weapon does a maximum damage of 25 out to 8 meters and a minimum damage of 18 that drops to this point at 50 meters. 18 damage, a higher minimum damage than all the other carbines minus the Ace-52 CQB. This simple fact, paired with its 900 round per minute rate of fire and excellent hip fire, already puts this weapon as the best all-around carbine in my book. It may even be in the run for best assault rifle, as it has the same damage model as the 556 assault rifles, and it deals damage very quickly with that 900 round per minute rate of fire. You'll notice the massive difference over the other carbines, more so on normal servers. On hardcore, this weapon shoots 3 shots to kill up to 38 meters and 4 shots to kill at every range beyond that, which is about the same bullets to kill as the other carbines. But on normal mode, this weapon takes a maximum of 6 shots to kill, whilst the other carbines, with the exception of the Ace-52 CQB, can go up to 7 shots to kill, which, let's be honest, is quite ridiculous and is half the reason I play mostly on hardcore. Let's not forget damage modifiers can affect this. Hitting your target in the leg, or if your target is wearing body armor, 7 shots plus dealing with that is just too much for me. I'll stick with my Mtar, you know, with the 6 shots. Empty reload of the Mtar is clocked at 3 seconds, while the reload with a bullet in the chamber is 2.5. So yes, I know in hardcore it's tough losing any bullets on such a fast shooting weapon, but it pays really to have an awareness of how many bullets you have left and figuring out if you should reload before popping a corner. One thing that saves me is either being a support or having a good support in the squad who gives ammo on call, so you can keep a full mag ready at all times. Alright, so let's talk about recoil pattern. This weapon has a first shot multiplier of 2.8. This is the biggest con of the weapon in my opinion compared to the other carbines. It becomes extremely difficult to control this weapon when bursting. That multiplier just makes your first shot of every burst kick like a mule and become very difficult to make follow-up shots. Quick fix for that, the good old angled grip is a great marriage with this gun. This will bring that high multiplier down to more manageable levels and take this gun from good to great. So this weapon has a .34 upwards pull, a .4 left pull, and a .4 right pull. So pretty high side-to-side recoil, and it's equal too, so you can't really compensate for it. So let's put this into perspective though. If you apply a 2.8 multiplier to your first shot, you now have a vertical pull of .95 and a side-to-side pulls of .8 apiece. This recoil is higher than the 240 Bravo, twice as high as the Scar H. It is uncontrollable and unpredictable. You can see in the first half of this video the highlights. I was using an Ergo grip, and this was before Synthex Stats had come out with stats for the Mtar. And you can see that first shot that I always make, if you go back and watch it, is unpredictable as hell. It could kick in any odd direction. Now that I do have the Synthex Stats on the gun, I use it with a heavy barrel paired with an angled grip, and I do exponentially better than what you saw earlier in this video. The gun recovers from recoil at a rate of 18 degrees per second, so if you pair that with that angled grip, this helps tremendously when you're spitting out 900 rounds per minute. So the base accuracy of this weapon standing still is an area that could use some help to get on par with the other carbines and assault rifles in the game. This weapon is at a .375 base accuracy. Compare that to, say, the ACWR is .3 and the Ace-23, which is an assault rifle, is .2. So one thing I do to alleviate that and bring it in line is to attach a heavy barrel to the weapon. It brings your base spread down to .18, and this does bring the vertical recoil up a bit, but if you have that angled foregrip paired with it to combat that dreaded multiplier, I believe this weapon's recoil can be managed. One stat that shines above the competition is the aim down sight accuracy while moving. This gun takes the crown at .675, and only adding .117 spread per shot, you can easily shoot on the move with this weapon and be very effective. Stand still, you will be accurate with a 10-round burst out to 20 meters. Moving, I would drop that to 5-round bursts out to 20. Very effective weapon. Hipfire, this weapon takes the cake on every level compared to the other top dogs. Playing domination or team deathmatch, you could technically go Ergo grip, laser sight, flash hider, and do nothing but hipfire and do fairly well. Another good combo would be to go potato grip with a suppressor if you want to stay somewhat accurate and stay off the minimap. Time to kill with this weapon is in the top dog list. It is basically equal with the AEK-971 with time to kill out to 38 meters. And the AEK is a gun that some consider to be the best overall weapon in the game. And this gun beats this, the Mtar beats out the Scar H in time to kill on normal mode, but loses to it in hardcore. but at mid to close range engagements, a 900 round per minute weapon generally has a better chance of winning a gunfight over a slower shooter, unless the guy with a slower shooter weapon is a weapon master. So my final thoughts on this weapon is the best overall weapon in the game for me. It takes my pick as a weapon I would most definitely use in a clan match. This weapon resembles how the F2000 and the FAMAS kind of felt for me. It's kind of a cross between the two and BF3. It's a fast, reliable bullpup. This MTAR is just different though than those two. It shoots even faster than the F2000. And one thing that sets it apart from all the other bullpups really in Battlefield 4 and makes this the best for me personally is the fast aim down sight moving speed. This is the key. Juking, jiving, jumping around in close quarters will keep you alive. I don't care what anybody says. And if you can do that with speed while having the benefits of being aimed down your sights, you will have you'll win a large number of engagements. The versatility of this gun is amazing too. If you have a target at long range and you have a heavy barrel equipped, throw on your magnifier, switch to semi-auto, and coordinate fire with your teammates to take the long target down. The only thing bad I have to say is, again, that first shot multiplier almost has to be taken down with an angled grip, otherwise this weapon can be extremely challenging to use. Take it, try it, let me know what you think in the comments section below. Take care, guys.